a while, I missed it. But vibrationally, it wasn't for me. I'm not saying I'm perfect and I always do that, but I pay attention to that. Did I answer the question?
Yes.
Okay.
And the other piece, well, it's another question that I have around chakras, energy centers. The intuition resides in the third eye, or what is how do you see this whole area of the 7 chakras, cleansing them and having those chakras facilitate your spiritual development?
So that's not my forte. First of all, I need you to know that. But I do know that you do need to have your chakras cleansed and balanced. And if I'm lucky because I have a go-to person that does that, I am aware that I have a sense of what chakras I need to pay attention to, because part of my regular day-to-day work is speaking, so I'm always aware of my throat chakra. Yeah. You see, I have tools. It's very rarely that I wear a piece of jewelry that isn't doing work for me.
Oh, interesting. Interesting.
You know, so I have something to help me to magnify what the greatness that comes from my body, you know, through words. And I want to say to you, I heard it in here today, and it was so correct. Words have such power.
Yes, they do. Yes.
They manifest things that we are so many times not aware of. And once the words are out there, they take on an existence of their own. So you have to be so mindful about the words that you use and really about the things that you say about yourselves. We tell lies about ourselves all day long. Oh, I'm too fat. Oh, I'm so dumb. You know, you do those things,
Right.
and those words go out into the ether. So my trick is here. I'm going to take that back because that's
just
who
take
I
it
am.
back, right?
I say nothing. As simple as that. A young master taught me that many, many years ago. I say nothing, and it just comes right back to you. It's done. You know. So be mindful of the way you speak, particularly about yourself, and then for other people, of course. Somebody's it's a pain in your neck all day. Oh, they're a pain in my behind. Oh, you'll go home and have a pain in your behind before the end of the night.
Right. You voiced it into
exactly, and the body is obedient. It's like an obedient child. Yeah. Oh, you want to have a pain in your behind? Okay, well, let's get on that. You know.
When I talk to someone, my intuition gives me helps me to create a listening for myself. I feel from them certain things. I know when you talked about going into a room that seems jovial and then you don't feel comfortable there, I know to walk out.
Exactly.
I've had the experience where I've stayed. And so all of these things happen to us every single day.
Yeah.
There's nothing mystical about it. It's the way we receive it, or are able or allow ourselves to receive it.
I also feel like sometimes it's, when you were talking about children, do you feel that there are aspects of this that we unlearn as adults?
Oh, for me, the life is doing the recall of remembering what it is that you knew, even when you sat at the foot of the Creator. So we land on the planet, and believe me, we pick up parents and they pick us. They may be
That's
here
what
before
my son
us.
says.
Okay, but you land on the planet, and then you begin the journey of remembering all that you knew before you even got here. And that's real clear for me. I was raised in Christianity, and I absolutely rely on it. But
So how do you reconcile those two beliefs?
because I'm going to tell you something. It's real. There was a night that I went to the Brooklyn Tabernacle. I was going to classes being taught pranic healing. And I was taken by my teacher to Brooklyn Tabernacle. I didn't know what I was going for. He said, "Come on, we got to go. You got to see this." Didn't give me any heads up, and we got there. And before we had went there, I said, "God," I was wrestling with, "God, please, if this is something that I should not be doing, if this is wicked, if this is evil, if this is, I just want to do your work, but I want to do it in a way that's accepting to you. So if I need not to be, tapping in this information, let me know." And we walked to Brooklyn Tabernacle on a Wednesday night, and we walked into the church, and I felt a presence and an energy that I've never, ever felt before in my life. And they took us upstairs, up into the whatever the balcony, and all I could hear was a hum. It seemed like hundreds of people all praying at the same time. Different words, but all I could hear was the hum of the energy, of the intention. And this was Christianity. And here I was questioning, and God brought me to this place to say to me, this is okay, you're doing the work. You know, you're doing the work that you came here to do. And that's all that you have to do. So I'm good with it. That's how I reconcile.
Perfect.
I know that when I do the work, when I'm doing a reading, and I open myself up, if lower vibration steps in and it's not for me to be connected to, I ask the Creator to assist. Sometimes the things that we think are lower vibration are necessary things to come through, perhaps for you, perhaps for me. That's another thing. We are teacher-students simultaneously.
Right.
So you people are teaching me tonight. You do know that, yes?
I have another question. This is a conversation I've been having with a friend of mine around choice. And his belief is that everything he does in this life was preordained. Every move he makes, every mistake he makes, it's just the way it is. That is life. I, on the other hand, feel that we do have a dimension of choice and accountability for the actions that we take. And I was just wondering, that we have that we self-determine in that way. You know, that we're not here as puppets or we have this script that is already laid out for us. What do you think?
So Spirit has taught me that, you know, we are love beyond love. And because of that, there are windows of opportunities that show up. And from those windows of opportunities, perhaps you were walking down the street today and you were going to go that way. And so a window of opportunity said, you know, Jonetha, you should look over here, go over here, and you go. So that was my original choice. But because of the window of opportunity, I get to go that way. We have free will.
That's it.
You know? We're gifted with free will. So we have to be mindful of that. It gives us a lot of opportunities to make fools out of ourselves, but we were gifted, you know, with that. And so I feel that, you know, everything is not a stamp. It's not a stamp, and this is the way we go, and this is what's going to happen, and it's ordained. That, for me, that's what Spirit teaches me. Spirit teaches me that there are always opportunities to shift, to pull in something that perhaps you didn't pull, that you didn't even pull into maybe this lifetime, and now you need it. My Spirit has taught me that we bring residue. It's not important to me what your beliefs are, but Spirit has taught me that we bring residue from other lifetimes in the lives that we need, that we're living. You know, meaning there's something perhaps the last time I didn't complete something, and now's my opportunity in this lifetime to complete it. It's not a punishment. It's just an agreement that I made with the Creator, that I would have that experience. Do you understand?
Yes. What do you think about angels?
So Spirit has taught me that there is a hierarchy that exists. And I'm not going to go through the entire hierarchy because it triggers me. You know about trigger. I know you know about being triggered. Okay. I know all of you know about being triggered. So, meaning someone will say something and it will take you into that place. And I need to be a little bit present in a way that's not scary looking. So, I know there are people. Spirit has taught me that people who have lived on the planet and now transition into that other place, that other dimension, don't automatically become angels. Angels, for me, are vibrations, entities that were never earthbound.
Right, I agree with that.
They exist in another realm. They've always existed in another realm. We show up as spirits. We can come back as guides. We can, there's a bunch of things that we can do. But the angels are, I would say, from the foot of the Creator. They come, there's the archangels.
And they're here to help us.
Yes, and they're here to help us. They're about 3 rungs down from the foot of the Creator, And they're not only here to help us, they're here to allow us to do the things that are not necessarily so wonderful and so great so that we can get the message and learn something, Until you may tell me that stove is hot, but if I don't believe it means nothing to me. I may be that person who needs to touch that stove and feel that burn to say, oh, okay. So there are times when the Creator allows the angels or those who walk to the front, to the back, above and below us to get out of the way you know, the ascended masters back up, you know, and let us have the experience, because maybe they've, you know, given us opportunities, windows of opportunities to have the experience in an abundant way. And, you know, we have free will, so we do things in a way. And then
I'm gonna do this my way.
Exactly. They're not the parent that keeps pulling you away from the curb. They say, go for it.
They're not the parent that pulls you away from the curb. Mm-hmm. That's interesting, because I would think that they're there to protect us.
So in your understanding, the ascended masters are here to serve you?
Yeah, I think that they're here. Yeah, but I mean, but I can change that very. But, you know, I guess I'm looking at orthodoxy in a lot of ways, where, in a way, we know it's written kind of what is right and what is wrong, you know. And so if you are about to experience something that you feel there are issues with, then why would one do that? If you know your 10 commandments, I mean, are they just a suggestion, or is it how we are to, you know?
Well, first of all, it does not have to do with your belief system and your mindset and your experience, what works for you in the world. You know, I understand the 10 commandments, but you know, there's a whole bunch more commandments than that. You do know that. You know,
yes.
Check out Egypt, okay? There's a bunch of it. So, for me, what's good and what's bad, it's hard
relative,
to say. Do you understand what I'm saying? It may be good for me to not go over there, because I know if I go over there, someone's going to hurt me. I've had experience and they hurt me. I may go over there, and get an ice cream. You know, works for me. You know, that bad for you was good for me. It worked out just fine. So it's hard for me to be that stern, you know. In this, you have to be willing to be flexible. You have to be willing to unlearn some things that you've been taught, because in society, I just want to say this and then I'm going to stop. You guys know that as a group, you know, you're here to do work. You do know that,
Yes.
right? This is not, there's no such thing as coincidence. Okay, it just doesn't exist. And that it's important for you to figure out what it is, and if you already know, to continue to do it, because when you do that, you help someone else.
Absolutely.
You're the pebbles, and you create the ripples. And there'll be something all the way over there, that ripple. You'll never see it, but because you did your work.
Yeah.
Good. So you just validated Brooklyn Savvy.
Absolutely.
Thank you so
Thank you
much,
so
Jonetha.
much.
Jonetha, this was wonderful,
Yes.
and I'm hoping that everyone here is a little higher in their vibration. We will see you next time on Brooklyn Savvy.